homeless people just have unlucky
Life.
and they're not guilty because you're if you have luck, you have luck, and then everything go smooth. If you don't have luck, you don't have luck, and doesn't matter how much intelligence you have, what kind of education you have, and also their misfortune that they don't have maybe in the moment enough power to go through the problems. So, but in every society is like some moments where people lose this internal power. About homeless people and other people, how treat them, it's like everything, Sometimes you have really nice persons, sometimes you have really not nice persons, and it's just like everywhere, like in traffic, like in shop, like at your work. People are different. Some people are really will to help. They pay attention to homeless people. And
like sometimes the police trying to tell them to go away from some places, or like just recently, an homeless guy in front of Starbucks, and one of the staff telling him to stay away from the door when like he wasn't doing anything wrong. I sympathize, but it's also a feeling of fear when I see them, which is not a fear against them, but their situation. But well, after we have to see how they came to this situation. Like certainly if they are drug addict or something, they did have a difficult environment, and also it's not, you can't just say it's their fault, that would be a stupid.
Young mother Melanie has helped the homeless from a young age. She tells me she'll teach her daughter how important it is to help the homeless also.
Yeah, well, I think it's really sad, and kind of just think it must be the last resort for lots of people. And yeah, I feel very sorry that it seems to be a real problem in London and the UK in general.
Do you think there's a lot of help out there for homeless people?
Well, I know there's, there are things like food banks and the occasional soup kitchen, but I guess it's not probably, it's probably not as much support as there should be, I think. My dad's a vicar, and as growing up, we were always told that to open the door to homeless people. You'd always used to come to the vicarage, and I always would offer them never money, but tea and a sandwich. So I'm very used to it. I think they get a really, really bad press here, and I think there's often lots of really complex reasons for why people are homeless.
Yes, it's important. You mentioned never give them money. Why is that?
I guess people say that sometimes they are alcohol dependent. I mean, I feel like if I can afford to give somebody a can of Stella and then give them a nice time, then it's probably not going to be the worst case. But I think food, a cup of tea and a sandwich is probably
best way to go about it.
Yeah, but I have given money in the past, but I think if they come into your home, you've got to be careful to not sort of, you've got to keep a bit of a distance as well.
From speaking to the general public, I found that people were mostly sympathetic towards the homeless. But interestingly enough, they mentioned many homeless people may have an alcohol or substance addiction. I met Jeremy in Ealing Broadway. He has been homeless for about a year now. He doesn't abuse substances and struggles daily to find help for his situation. He tells me he dislikes the fact that the homeless are sometimes automatically thought of as drug addicts, and he's keen to communicate that not all homeless people are into that kind of thing.
Basically what happened was I was living somewhere, a shared house, which wasn't too easy to live in. And the landlord actually asked me to actually leave the place. I sort of looked into the thing, and the landlord did not have to give me a reason to actually ask me to leave.
Oh, right.
My housing benefit was actually being sort of paid fine,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. So the landlord actually asked me, to leave. He also didn't give me much time to actually leave as well.
Oh, so it's literally in a matter of get out, like
yeah,
kind of.
Yeah. I mean, again, that was actually a sort of disappointment to me. It's kind of a little bit, to actually go into the detail of the thing. He actually was supposed to give me some sort of warning, and he actually wasn't very kind of truthful with me. So kind of with that, I sort of had to leave it very quickly and wasn't prepared to actually find like another place to go to. I mean, I kind of had to leave. He actually didn't give me warning, kind of
Yeah,
proper warning to
that's
actually
it.
go.
Happened very quickly.
Yeah,
Well,
it
what am I
did.
supposed to do? And then
Yeah,
a shock
absolutely.
kicked in, and then
Yeah.
you're out. All you can think about is like eating, or the essentials, like where am I going to
That's
sleep,
right.
rather than where do I look for help.
That's right.
And that sort of comes second,
That's
doesn't
right,
it?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, there is sort of one charity which is called St Mungo's, which is supposed to help you out. Instead, they haven't been actually very helpful to me. I've actually met them. They actually want to take your details and things like that. They also want to actually know how to actually find you. To actually find you at night time, to sort of tell them exactly where to actually find you. The thing is that they haven't actually come to find me.
Oh, so they've just left you.
Sorry?
So they've literally given you hope and then sort of taken it away. So
Yeah.
they're, well, you're not actually doing anything for me. Like, what's, you know?
That's right. I actually did meet somebody who actually helped me out. I actually met somebody at one of the churches, the church down there, the kind of large church, Christ Church in Eden Broadway,
Oh, okay, yeah.
who actually took me in for about 3 weeks.
Oh,
Who
wow.
actually helped me out in the evenings.
Yeah.
Kind of like somewhere to go to, for like kind of food, like a wash and stuff like that. But that's only lasted for about 3 weeks. And kind of before that I was homeless, and kind of after that as well.
Yeah.
And this group, St Mungo's, they're called. You actually are supposed to approach them to actually tell them your circumstances.
Oh, you need help, and yeah.
But they haven't really done anything as yet,
That's terrible. During in films, especially like homeless people, are portrayed as really, it's a really wrong light. People sort of strip away the human being side of things to say that. I've seen a lot of programs or films where they're the sort of thugs, like, oh, give me your money, give me all it, or they're like drug takers. Really, in a weird way, brainwashes people from wanting to help homeless people.
does.
And that's what's really sad about the thing. In terms of like the public, do you get many people that are actually helpful? Like,
I am personally a bit kind of reluctant to do that sort of thing, to be honest. I'm actually with the job centre as well,
yeah,
which kind of obviously helps me out as well. So that's something which I don't tend to do myself. I mean, sort of generally, people are quite nice a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you sort of go to places where you think that they're going to be a bit kind of more kind of open to you, kind of
Yeah.
tolerant of you.
yeah,
Yeah. A sort of good place to go to often is with kind of families around, because I mean, there's often no sort of problems with that sort of thing. I mean,
yeah,
not to sort of get too close, if you like, but I mean at the
Yeah.
same time that would be quite. It's kind of like a safe place to go to, basically.
Yeah.
And usually the parks are actually quite good places to go to,
yeah.
since they're large places, kind of large spaces to just kind of sit around in.
If you don't have any horror stories, or you haven't seen anything like terrible happen to another homeless person, you think, well, that scares me, kind of thing.
Perhaps sometimes I've actually managed to avoid that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean, again, you sort of develop some sort of kind of thing where you think that maybe it's best not to try something. And
exactly.
I mean, it's sort of just like a kind of an instinct, and possibly
Kicks in, and you're like, well,
Yeah, that's right. I mean, like here, for example, perhaps to try this today, or perhaps to not try today, and then like another day, it's okay. It's sort of common sense, really. Sort of do the right thing.
that's cool. Yeah, have you had anything awful really happen to you, sort of, or have you had any problems with maybe other homeless people? Do you think in general it's a feeling all around that everyone's in the same boat, or do you think some people you'd avoid speaking to?
Yeah, kind of. Just that sort of sense of sort of being like a little unwelcoming, like some places. I mean, like anybody else, you've got to sort of go out to places. You have to get food. You have to meet other people, kind of stuff like that. And just kind of certain places where again, you actually might sort of just get a sense that you're not being sort of kind of welcome there, if you like. But it's not sort of necessarily like all the people there. It's maybe just one or two people, but kind of sometimes that actually might be enough. I sort of usually go out there on my own.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of possibly easy to actually go around with other people to kind of protect yourself against
To
that.
have, it's kind of like a wolf pack feeling. Like it's better to
Yeah.
be with people than be on your own in a sense. But then also, I suppose you get a few that are quite, as you say, unwelcoming and maybe quite dangerous. Maybe they'd take this sort of criminal route. Do you think, of stealing things and?
Yeah, I'm sort of actually fairly good to actually avoid that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's just that kind of uneasy feeling you have, sort of public places where you sort of want to go, and maybe it's best not to go over there, not to go there.
Yeah.
That sort of a thing.
You sort of know in yourself, I'm
yeah.
going to avoid that. I mean, in terms of like sleeping, do you find places like hidden, like doorways, or
Yeah,
hide? Because
yeah.
do you have any like problem with like maybe police officers or something? Like, oh, you can't sleep here, you can't stay here. Is that a big problem, or do you find yourself being moved around a lot?
So far, I've not really had like a problem about that so far.
No.
There was only kind of once or twice, which is kind of just sort of going around during the daytime and like the police kind of making inquiries, sort of thing. But I've actually managed to not have too many problems about kind of places to stay.
That's good.
And kind of problems with kind of people around. I mean, of course, I've got to be kind of discreet about it, you know. Yeah, I mean, initially, I actually kind of based myself behind the church, the church which I actually kind of mentioned before. The priests that actually knew that I was there, they actually provided a blanket for me.
Oh, brilliant.
Sort of kind of, the only difficulty I had is it's a very, very busy area. So kind of after a while, I decided to actually try and find somewhere else to go to.
Yeah.
And actually found somewhere. Kind of with this, I sort of put myself there. Maybe I'm not supposed to be there, but I sort of keep it very, very quiet and kind of use it kind of like the sort of evening time only.
Yeah.
Just the evening. I sort of go back there in the evenings and I can leave very early in the morning.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Basically. And one or two people see you, but they don't seem to mind you too much as long as you don't actually cause like an obvious problem.
Speaking to Jeremy, I've learnt about the difficulties of being homeless, the day-to-day struggles that come along with it. It's given me a real insight into the lack of help some homeless people experience. Jeremy told me the Salvation Army and Christchurch are a great source of support, but he really dislikes St Mungo's as he believes they have failed him.